Hi everybody, welcome back to Mando Lessons. This is the next lesson in the beginners series over at mandolessons.com that takes you everywhere from never having picked up a mandolin through playing your first chords and scales and songs and tunes. So if you haven't seen the other videos in this lesson, in this series, check out mandolessons.com. I've got the whole beginner series over there, free to watch. Without further ado, this is a lesson on this first song. So I'm going to use an old folk song called Cindy. I'm going to show you the chords in this lesson, and then in the next lesson down the line, we're going to work on the scale to use in this for this song, and then we're going to learn the melody to pick out on the mandolin. But this is the chord lesson, so it's in the key of G. If you're not familiar with the G, a C, and a D chord, I suggest you go check out mandolessons.com and find the lesson on chords in the beginner section, and that will show you what to do. But if you're ready to go, I'll play through it once just so you can get a sense of what it sounds like. As is common with old folk songs, everybody does this a little differently. It might sound somewhat familiar to you, but it might sound a little different than what you know. It might sound totally new. It might sound exactly like you know it. So if you're looking to sort of get this song in your ears, I recommend checking out YouTube. Just type in Cindy folk song maybe, and I'm sure something will come up. That's how I learn and find new stuff to listen to. It's YouTube. It's a great resource. So I'll play my version of it. As I said, key of G. I'm going to do what I think of as 2 verses and then a chorus twice. And that sort of sets it up to be fiddle tune length so that we can sort of use it as an entryway into playing fiddle tunes as well once we learn the melody on the mandolin. So here it is. You ought to see my Cindy, lives way down south. She's so sweet, the honeybees swarm around her mouth. Cindy in the springtime, Cindy in the fall. If I can't have my own Cindy, I'll have no girl at all. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, gonna marry you someday. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, gonna marry you someday. And then there'd be another verse, another chorus, etc., etc. There's a bunch of verses to this song. I'll probably just focus on those, and I'll have the some other words to it in a PDF below this video over at mandolessons.com if you're looking for some more words. In terms of singing along with the melody, I'm not much of a singer personally, but I really think it's an important skill to work on, even if you think of it just as a tool to really kind of work on your musicianship and get a better sense of pitch and getting tunes into your ears. I find really helpful is if I can sing something, it means I'm going to have a lot easier time playing it. So if you're shy about singing, that's not a problem. Find somewhere where you can just kind of sing along and don't feel like anyone's listening. That's what I do. And just kind of go for it, and it'll really help your music. When I first started playing mandolin, I was really shy about singing, and it really, once I finally started kind of mumbling along with songs and getting that sound into my ears, it really kind of made my playing get better in a really discernible way. So try to sing along or just hum along if you're getting used to the words, and then it'll make it that much easier to pick out the melody when that time comes along. So as I said, this is in the key of G. I'll sing the first verse again and then sort of show you what we're doing. I'm going to simplify the right hand strumming pattern down just to all downstrokes, about this fast. You ought to see my Cindy, she lives way down south. She's so sweet, the honeybees swarm around her mouth. So as you might have noticed there, it's all G in the right hand, except for the very end when we have swarm around her mouth. So what I do is that's kind of a quick switch if you're just getting used to these chords. And whenever I find something that's a little harder than the rest of the song, my advice is to kind of break out that little section and slow it down and work on just that little part, and then add it back into the tune once you're more comfortable with it. So we've got swarm around her mouth. Let's try that. Swarm around her mouth. Again. Swarm around her mouth. One more. Swarm around her mouth. So it's all G, and it's all downstrokes in the right hand until that last little line. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. You ought to see my Cindy. She lives away down south. She's so sweet, the honeybees swarm around her mouth. Again. You ought to see my Cindy. She lives away down south. She's so sweet, the honeybees swarm around her mouth. So, as I said, all G, a little bit of G, D, G at the very end. Second verse is going to be the same. Cindy in springtime, Cindy in the fall. I can't have my own Cindy, I'll have no girl at all. Same thing going on in your right and left hand, just with different lyrics. Then when we get to the chorus, we have sort of some pickup notes in the melody, in the words, and it's going to go, get along home, and on home, we're going to hit the C chord. So we have, get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home. Second home is back to G. So let's try that again. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'm gonna marry you someday. So we have that same G, D, G at the end. Marry you someday. Let's do that again. Marry you someday. Alright, let's do the whole chorus twice through. So it starts with the pickup notes into the C chord. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'm gonna marry you someday. Again, get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'm gonna marry you someday. So that's the whole sort of form of the song. There's a bunch more verses, and then after every couple verses, you can go back to the chorus. And that's all you really need to do in terms of your left hand. And once you get comfortable with that right hand, just sort of downstroke pattern, you can start working on some of the other strumming patterns that I did in the previous lesson. If you missed that lesson, it's over at mandolessons.com. It's called Strumming Patterns or something along those lines. So you can kind of spice up your right hand. So this is just the down, down, up, down, down, up. So I recommend getting that right hand movement going just with the G chord. And once that feels nice and comfortable, then add in the words. You ought to see my Cindy. She lives away down south. She's so sweet, the honeybees swarm around her mouth. Cindy in the springtime, Cindy in the fall. I can't have my own true love, I'll have no girl at all. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'm gonna marry you someday. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home. Get along So what you can do after this is just sort of keep making the right hand a little more complicated. You can go from that to trying to get that bass note in there, like I did in the strumming pattern lesson, and then try to get the alternating bass. That'll sort of fill out the song a little bit, make it a little smoother rather than just that one downbeat. But really get comfortable with each level of strumming pattern. If this is your first song that you're learning, it might take a little bit of time, and that's all right. You're kind of asking your hands to do a whole lot of stuff all at once. You know, you're asking your left hand to move around, get all these chords at the right time. You're asking your right hand to do this sort of pattern. You're asking your brain to remember a melody, and you're asking your mouth to sing it all. So be easy on yourself if it's taking a little bit of time, and just kind of have fun with it, you know. So I'll play it one more time with the full alternating bass right hand strumming pattern, so you can hear what it sounds like. And then again, if you're looking for some more words, they're over at mandolessons.com. I'll have a PDF under the lesson, and you can sort of have more than just one verse and chorus to sing. So, it sounds like this. Get the right hand going at first. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, gonna marry you someday. So again, kind of focus on your right hand. If your right hand's nice and consistent, the song is going to sound great. It's going to sound nice and consistent. But if your right hand's a little wobbly, forget about the lyrics for a little while. And just really kind of focus on the right hand. You can if you can keep the song in your head and not worry about singing it, just go and just kind of think through the song and make sure your left and right hands are nice and coordinated. That'll really make it all sound good. So, thanks for watching. There'll be more lessons in this series. We're going to learn to pick out this melody and learn the scale that goes along with it, the G scale. If you find this lesson and any of my lessons at Mando Lessons helpful, there's a couple ways to donate, and that's always appreciated, but the lessons will always be free. So, having fun and playing music is the most important part. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. All right, bye-bye.